So the other day, I made a video on the subject of relationships that start and end really fast. But it's also strange to me because it seems like in this day and age, that's kind of just the way that things go in terms of relationships, right? Swiping, 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 and like you're looking for that like perfect ideal partner, which of course doesn't exist, but some people just don't want to believe that. Um, a healthy level on that behalf, a healthy level of compromising is necessary. You're not going to find one person that's going to take care of your every single fucking need. I just don't think that's healthy, and that's why it's also important to have a balance of other relationships in your life that just wouldn't be romantic, that you can turn to talk to about things and connect on that behalf. I did, however, get a comment on the first video that I made of this, of when your relationships start and end really fast. And the person basically had said that they would like to hear me talk about how to stop the whole process of having your relationships start and end really fast. So I'm going to talk about what I believe this is and what I believe a person needs to do to stop it. First and foremost, what I want to talk about is relationships that start and end really fast tend to entail at least one person that is emotionally immature. And the reason why I say that is because relationships that start and end really fast tend to have a dynamic of all or nothing. And I communicated that in the last video, right? So let's look at this dynamic of all or nothing, right? If it's all, then it's everything. And the reason why that's happening is because at least one person is being idolized, right? They're being placed on a pedestal. They're being seen as somebody who can solve all the fucking problems for the other person, right? They're being seen as somebody who's just immaculate and flawless and just out of this fucking world. They're basically godlike. Nobody here is that. Nobody on the face of this planet is that. So basically, the person is creating a distorted perception of the other person that does not amount to anything real in reality, because it's just not true, right? And so the fascinating thing is that I've been through enough relationships in my life where I have been, both to very extreme levels, idolized, and also just, like somewhat idolized. We have to remember, and this is the start here, and this is also challenging for me to sit with because I also don't like it. I really don't. I'm learning to kind of like decondition myself from seeing things this way. If you idolize a person, you are negating the very fucking reality of who they are. Sorry for the train going by. It's cheering me on. If you idolize a person, you are negating the very reality of who they are. And when I say that, I mean, don't get me wrong, somebody, maybe when you connect with them, things might feel really special and really genuine and really unique. That is real. That's okay, right? But to place somebody on a fucking pedestal that they can solve your fucking problems, that, they can give you everything and you'll be happy and this, that, and the other, no. And by the way, I mean, like, I've been through enough of this in my life with relationships to know that, like, it's actually a very overwhelming feeling to, like, basically believe that it is your responsibility to take care of somebody else, like, in terms of everything, like, with everything, in every single way possible. The more I heal from all of the dysfunctional and unhealthy relationships that I've been in, the more I see just like much more of a balance standpoint rather than this extreme idolization. Really, what's happening in relationships where, they start and end really fast is that at least one person is being idolized, right? They're being seen as like, like, no, like, nobody actually is that, And so, like, to see somebody like that is a mentally unstable way of approaching people. because nobody is that. But then the fascinating thing is that what is the flip side of that? Well, if the initial blow is idolization and everything, all, right? The flip side of that is not only nothing, right? You end up wanting nothing to do with them, but you might also, because of how much you fucking idolize them, you might also devalue them. You might also demonize them, right? And then at some point fucking discard them. Again, I've had experience with this. No names at all, of course. I don't do that, boundaries. But the way that you stop, doing all or nothing relationships where things start and end really fast is you understand something that's very important to understand. If you meet somebody and they fucking vomit their entire fucking life at you in a course of minutes, run in the opposite direction. That is a sign that things are going to, they already have started very fucking fast, right? And then what happens when that person that vomits their entire life at you, what happens when that's maybe not reciprocated? Oh, maybe they withdraw. Maybe they just gave everything, right? They gave their entire fucking life at you. Sorry for that graphic visual. They gave their entire fucking life at you, right? And then maybe they saw that it wasn't reciprocated, right? And so then what do? After they gave everything, they're like, nothing, right? And so the dynamic of is not healthy. And it's not likely to last long. I don't know in what scenario it would last long. But it's not likely to last long. And that's kind of how things go. So to conclude in terms of how to end this, how to stop doing this, the most important thing that you can do is be aware of these dynamics. Understand that relationships that start and end really fast are usually based around at least one party that is somewhat, to some level of degree, whether mild or extreme, because there are mild and extreme cases of this, emotionally immature. The expectations that they have on the other person are just not realistic, right? Like, expecting the other person to meet every single fucking need of theirs, even needs that are not theirs to meet, it's just not reality. It's not an accurate representation of how things should be in healthy relationships. Also, another thing that you can do to stop or end the cycle of relationships that start and end fast, really fast, is be aware of the dynamics that present themselves, right? Did you just learn absolutely everything there is to learn about this person in a course of minutes, in a course of one date? You did? Run. Being aware of that, because that is the all or nothing vibe, right? Again, like what I was talking about before, they're going to give everything all up front, right? And then if they feel like maybe that's not matched on your end, or that's not reciprocated, or it wasn't received well, or maybe for whatever reason you did something that you didn't intend to do and they felt that as rejection, they're going to pull back real fucking quick, right? Look for balance, not the all or nothing, right? All or nothing is actually really easy to tell. And I know that you might say, well, Chris, that's just the way that relationships seem these days. Yeah, I'm going to be, fully honest on my end. I see this dynamic very prevalent with people. It's like speed dating, right? Our parents, the fucking boomers and everything, they didn't have dating apps. They had fucking bars that they went and met women at, right? Or men, whatever the fuck, whatever you want. And so, today we sit on social media until we fucking find the perfect person. News fucking flash. Here's another fucking important thing to understand. There is no such thing as a perfect person. There's no such thing as a perfect partner. If you want to, actually, I want to say something real quick. No names, of course. I knew somebody who literally could not choose Like there were several, more than a dozen selections of something, and they could not choose. And like understanding that people are not perfect and that you're not going to find the perfect partner. Like to some level, to some degree, there's going to be compromise, right? Maybe you're going to find out that they fucking snore. Okay, cool. Go sleep on the floor in the other fucking room or at your own place or get your own place, right? Just because you find out one thing that you don't like about a person does not mean that you should leave. It's a very emotionally immature way of approaching people and relationships. Could very well make a part 3 to this. I might do that. But just to, conclude everything, the way that you stop the cycle of finding yourself in experiences with people that are like this, where your relationships start and end really fast, just become aware of the dynamics, right? Relationships that start and end really fast tend to be from people and with people that are emotionally immature, that tend to have a mild or severe level of black or white, all or nothing thinking. Notice the signs. That's the best thing that I can say. Notice the signs, because they're there, right? If somebody is emotionally immature, they're going to run from somebody that they find out is not perfect. Newsflash, nobody is perfect, right? Somebody who is emotionally immature knows how to work with things and compromise and understand that we're all humans. We all piss and shit. We all smell bad sometimes. Maybe we have bad breath. Maybe we have something that, we need to get better at or work through. We're all human. We all have shit. We're all doing the work at the end of the fucking day. Let me make this very clear. You're not going to find a single fucking person on the face of this planet who has not had some level of trauma in their life. If you're looking for somebody who you think has no trauma at all, you're not going to fucking find them. It's that fucking simple. So you can keep swiping back and forth. You can keep playing this game of all or nothing, where you're going to give it all and then you're going to realize that you can't, so you're going to take it all back. No, just have a balanced approach. Become aware of all the dynamics.